Right then, life comes at you fast when you've got back-to-back games in the Champions League and the Premier League, and Manchester United back in action again tomorrow night against Atletico Madrid. Serious task on our hands. Let's get into how we're going to beat them. So they've actually found a little bit of form since we last played them. They're now third place in La Liga. They have won all 3 games since they've played us. And they've tended to be a little bit better away from home this season. And in general, over recent years, they do thrive on the road. So this isn't something where you go, sweet, they're coming to Old Trafford. This is going to be a tap-in for us now. It's usually far from the case with Atletico Madrid. I do think they're going to be a little bit more defensive, though. And obviously, if we have a look at what they did in the first leg, I think Simeone surprised a few people with how he set up. They set up in a 3-5-2 with their width provided by Vrsaljko and Lodi. Correa and Joao Felix looked to stretch United and did pretty well with it, to be honest, with at least one of them playing on the shoulder of the last defender. They pinned United's defence back really well, and they created space in the central areas because they were doing that. In midfield, Llorente was a little bit more of an attacking midfielder on that right-hand side, and he made penetrating runs into the half space when Luke Shaw was dragged out towards Vrsaljko. And that was a massive issue for us, I thought, in the game. That then draws Harry Maguire out, as invariably it does. And one of the key benefits, I thought, for what Simeone was doing was the counter-attacking structure it provided when it springs from a 5-3-2 into the 3-5-2 shape. Really, really exposed United. One of the key strengths was their management of transitions. Literally, Simeone is the transitional manager. It's everything he does is about transitioning to winning the ball, transitioning to losing the ball, and the reaction of the players to doing those sorts of things. So, of course, that was the one thing. The shape that he selected caused United problems in a big way on the break, especially with the sorts of numbers and the areas that they put those numbers of players into. With Atletico sort of guiding United into the wider areas when they had possession, they were able to sort of suck us in, and once they immediately regained the ball, they looked at diagonal passing options. It was very good from a tactical point of view, and they would be fuming the way the game ended because they should have just seen us off. They were so much better than us. Atletico were a lot more aggressive and proactive than us on the night. Joao Felix was probably the biggest danger all night. He got licensed to roam, and Correa was really the focal point of everything else that they went through. I think he's going to go with a bit of a similar kind of thing. Starting 11-wise, I think it'll be Oblak, Savic, Felipe, Reynaldo, Lodi, Rodrigo de Paul, Koke, Herrera, Llorente, Griezmann, and Felix. Starman, Joao Felix, I think. Giving him a little bit of stick for not being worth the money, and I certainly didn't think he's really hit the ground running with the expectations that were placed upon him. But he is their man in form, and I think he was the best player on the pitch in the first leg. Scored 3 goals in 3 games since playing us, which makes it 4 in his last 4 games for him. Really technically gifted, really clever sort of player. He's got great off-the-ball movement. He's got some good vision, and he's a danger at any point he's in the final third of the pitch. He's a bit of a glider when he dribbles, and he's pretty difficult to dispossess when he gets going as well. So if I have to think who's going to be the one that could put us out of the tie, I think we're looking at Joao Felix in a big way. Right then, this episode of The Preview is brought to you by our partners at Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN or a virtual private network that keeps your identity safe by encrypting all the information sent between your device and the internet. This keeps your personal data protected from big companies and cyber criminals. Also, you can swap the real location of your device with a new one, aka changing your IP address. This way you can virtually travel to any country around the globe. With Surfshark, you can encrypt your data and help secure your personal information when you use a free public Wi-Fi, which can be a goldmine for hackers. Mask your IP address, which is essential to becoming private online. A VPN makes sure that your city, country, and download history are not linked with your identity. And Surfshark does not monitor, track, or store what you do online, so there are no connection or activity logs. It allows you to change your virtual location to access more on something like Netflix. Stay safe when streaming content not on TV when you're using Surfshark. Alternatively, if you prefer to not pay, look, sometimes the games are at 3 o'clock. Sometimes those games are going to be difficult to watch unless you can change your IP address. And sometimes those free streaming sites are an absolute nightmare to navigate. You don't know what to click on. You don't know what the play button is. And then you've got to risk doing all sorts of damage to your PC by doing that. Alternatively, you can change your location and you can get yourself a nice legal stream from a different location. I'm saying Surfshark allows you to do that. And they've got a clean web feature as well that will block all sorts of ads, malware, phishing attempts, and it allows you to stream stuff safely. It's extremely useful keeping safe when you want to stream stuff that isn't on TV. And did you know Surfshark is the only VPN that allows you to use one account on unlimited devices? That's your phone, your laptop, anything that you want. Listen, I've got a special offer for you guys. Use the code Howson, get 83% off plus 3 extra months for free. Surfshark is currently offering an extra month if you sign up using the link below, and it offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. There is literally zero risk for you to try this out. Very, very useful tool. Go check it out as they're sponsoring today's video. Stats-wise, they average 50.9 possession, which is only 8th in the league. They are the second most successful tackles in the middle third with 212. It's an area of the pitch that they like to engage and they like to dominate. They've scored the second most goals in the league this season with 52, only behind Real Madrid. And it's those defensive issues aside which still make them a massive threat. And as we said, Oblak only stopped 54.4% of the shots that he's conceded in La Liga for the season, which is the worst save in the competition. And actually the first shot that we had went in. It was only with Jesse Lingard put a bit of a weak effort on goal late in the game that our prediction of every other shot we have on him was going to go in. I'd love to sit here and say get 2 shots, score 1 goal tomorrow night. That'd be fantastic for us, wouldn't it? So how do we beat them? Well, I was impressed with a lot of stuff on Saturday, but I'm still going to make some changes to United. I'm going to bring Elanga in just for the confidence that he brings and the directness and the effectiveness that he's bringing in. I'm going to swap Pogba in for Bruno, or out for Bruno, because I think that Bruno's got the effectiveness that I just don't think Pogba's got in him at the moment. He does play emotional, but if we can harness that right, that can be a positive. It can be a negative, but I think it also can be a positive. Tellez and Delo at full-back, and I do want to see Varane and Lindelof at centre-half with Maguire on the bench and De Gea in net. So that's the 11. What do? Well, we have to be careful with the counter-attack. They've got a lot of quality in the team, and even though they've not really been as defensively solid as you would expect Atletico Madrid to be, they still carry a serious, serious threat going forward. They've always been a very dangerous counter-attacking side, and they're good at set pieces. So they've got dangers all over the place, and if they can sort their defending out, in all honesty, they could muller us. They attack in such a way that United are going to have to be switched on at all times, and that's why Maguire sits this one out for me. His concentration levels are just shot to shit at the moment. We saw with the own goal that he put in. I'm not bothered about the lunge. I'm really not. I'm bothered about the fact that he needed to make the lunge in the first place because he hadn't sorted his feet out. We've got to be physical. I didn't think it was anywhere near physical enough in the first leg. And we've been found wanting against teams that want to make it a battle in the past. You have to go and take the fight to Atletico in this sense. Be way more proactive and energetic and actually try and win some second balls in this one because there was just none of that in the first leg. And obviously support each other, get ourselves forward and take more shots. We hadn't had a shot on target until Elanga's goal. Change that. Get some shots early doors. Oblak's not in the greatest of form in his life. Get him tested. Get some shots on target. And let's get ourselves in the next round. It's gone to shit in the league. But at least we might be able to put in some sort of a decent run in the Champions League. Only takes a goal, doesn't it? Anyway, cheers for tuning in. Can't wait for tomorrow night. Let's get amongst it. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.